Vancouver has put things together in the most recent month of the season. December has been the best month by pretty much all of the players on our team. But I'm still thinking about making a trade to acquire a power forward in place of Lauri Markkanen. Now, you're probably wondering, why are we looking at Horace Rivers on the screen right now? And that's because I think he's a really good candidate. Although he has not shot very well from 3 this season, he's only playing less than 20 minutes. He's still getting 4.1 boards, scoring about 9 points. And if I do bring him in, I'm going to be giving him more minutes off of the bench, probably around 24, 25, because I think that he could be really useful to us. And there really aren't a lot of power forwards that are on as cheap of a contract as he is, or that can also, hit threes, because he, as you have seen right here, last 2 seasons before this current one, he was a good 3-point shooter. So I think that you make a trade for either him or maybe Bryant Lambert, but I want to, make a trade for a guy on a team where it makes sense for both sides, because Rivers currently is one of 4 power forwards in the same overall range, around 80 overall, with Tari Eason, Keegan Murray, and Kyle Kuzma. And realistically, even though he's only 24 years old, he's only playing less than 20 minutes a game. He's not getting as much, or as many minutes as he needs to. And I think maybe we bring him back. What if, he was recently signed. We can't even trade for him for 24 days. So maybe we table the trade idea for him until we get to the trade deadline, which is in just over a month and a half. So pretty much a month and a half from today, we can trade for him. But we can trade for him earlier than that as well. And there were some other options, which I'll show you guys right now. So Cam Johnson could be a very interesting guy to bring in, but he does have worse rebounding than Markkanen does, and I still want to keep us better at rebounding, but he's a stretch 4, so he has another 3-point shooting option that we can look at perhaps. Then on the Celtics, there is Bryce Reeves, who's on the last year of his rookie contract, and he's not starting because they brought in Jeremy Sochan, although on a 1-year contract, so he could be an option, but I think that he might be a bit too young in terms of his experience, because I'm assuming that the Celtics want to re-sign him, so it might not make sense for us to make a trade for him. There's also Bryant Lambert, who was brought in on a 1-year minimum contract just for this season for the Cavaliers, and he's playing 31 minutes a game. I believe he is starting at small forward for them. So we could also go after him, and he would get about 25 minutes at the very least off the bench. But he is an option, but it might be too costly for us. They might want too much or too many picks or whatnot from us to make that deal go through. So there's really not that many options. There's probably one more I was thinking about, which was Bobo. 7'2" power forward, good rebounder, good inside defense, good 3-point shooter, good mid-range shooter. He's a 2-way stretch 4. IQ definitely needs work, but he's 29 years old. He's a higher overall than Markkanen is. Better defender, better shooter. He's shooting 47% from the field this year and 42% from 3. And he's playing 17 minutes a game. I think I'll see if they want to strike a deal here. All right, I think this is probably the best offer out of all 3. Otherwise, they want Todd Graves and Joel Carney, which I'm just not willing to give either of those guys up, because I do think that Carney and Graves have still like 2 to 3 years of growth for each of them. I think that they could both really become contributors down the line. And so I think we'll just tank the $8 million contract for Dinwiddie just for this year. Obviously, he won't be coming back. Then we'll bring in Bol. We get rid of Markkanen. We do lose Shane Blackman, who we traded for earlier this year, but he's not playing right now. He can barely score. So I think this is the move that we make. And the deal is done. Another trade by the Woodsmen. All right, so we have our rotation timeline, and I want to make a couple of small changes here. I think I want to keep Herter where he's at the small forward position, coming in for about 8 minutes a game. But I do want to take a few minutes away from Vanderbilt just because he is a bit tired right now. And I think Bobo could be useful to give him maybe 5 extra minutes or 3 or 4 extra minutes or so. So we're going to make that change real quick. So we're going to let Bol Bol come in and play start of the second quarter. And then I think that's fine, actually, around 18 minutes a game. And we'll see how it goes. And then as we get closer to the end of the year, perhaps, maybe that's when we decide to, take Herter or somebody else out of the rotation. So we'll stick with this for now. And I think this looks good to me. So let me save this rotation. So we have our new lineup set. And I think one last thing I would like to change. As you can see, team chemistry still is at 97%, which it'll probably go down to like 90 or something, I'm assuming, once we sim like a game or two so that it kind of can update. But still at 97 for now. I just want to go see and make sure that Herter has 3s assigned to him in the playbook, because if he doesn't, well, I feel like he needs them. And he has them as priority number 3. So I think he needs to have like some different plays drawn up for him. So we'll do a 3-pointer, mid-range, cutter, and then PNR wing. Also, lastly, I did want to point out that I did check through all of the team stats and some player stats, and the points per game, there is a huge problem here. There should not be this many teams below 110 points. So I did increase some sliders. I'll show you guys the adjustments that I made in a second. But I think it has to do with inside scoring and probably just needing some more shots to be taken, because I compared this to the 21-22 real life season. That's how I am kind of basing off what these stats should kind of look like for the most part. So if they're a little bit off, it's fine. But there were some that were a good ways off, like points per game, field goals attempted per game by each team. Field goal percentage was a bit off, and 3-point attempts was a bit too high as well, and free throws were a bit low. So I upped those, and I also wanted to show you guys how these centers look in terms of field goal percentage, because it is not good. Like, I think that one of the highest players is shooting like just above 50%. So you see, this just showing, hold on, where's centers? There we go. So you only have a handful of guys, like about 10, scoring above 50%, when usually it's most centers are scoring above that. Power forwards sometimes as well. It depends on what kind of shots they're taking. But this is too low, so I increased inside scoring as well. Because I did notice that most centers were hovering on like 49%, when usually there are lots of guys in the 60s and lots of guys in the high 50s and mid 50s. So I wanted to increase that, and I'll show you guys what I did. So I changed the sliders for both watching and for simming. So first, I upped inside shot success, close shot success, and there was one other thing. I believe it was layup success, all the way up to 61 for all 3. I increased those, and I believe that was all that I adjusted for. Oh, I also increased contact shot success to 55. Otherwise, it was what it was back in episode 50. I didn't change anything else for the CPU or the user sliders. For the simulation sliders, I increased the team pace from 25 to 32, so this will affect all teams. This will make them not take more shots, but it will give them just a few more possessions per game. And then I also increased from 34 to 40 how many possessions result in a shot being taken. And otherwise, I believe I adjusted the fouls by 5 from 20 to 25. Otherwise, I slightly increased layups and shot close to 52. And I believe that was it. I think I lowered shot 3 from 50 to 45, definitely for sure. And then I increased the percentages for layup percentage, close range shot percentage, and dunk percentage up to those numbers. Otherwise, that was it. So everything else I kept the same. So those are the mid-season adjustments to our sliders, because the numbers just don't line up right now. And I'll save again just to make sure. And now we can actually start the episode. So, by the way, thinking about trading for Rivers, not a bad idea. But I think Bol Bol has been outplaying him this season, and also provides more height, more defense. So I'm excited for that new change. So who are we going to face today? I think it's going to be this game against John Morant and the Pacers to see if Tyrese Halliburton can take down his former team. They're currently 14-18 on the season. They got Andrew Wiggins, Miles Bridges, Daniel Gafford, Pete Westbrook off the bench, Oscar Dawson. We've seen a couple of these guys previously. So we just got to the very end of our simming, and Zubac has a sprained left knee out for a week or two, so he will not be playing in today's game against the Pacers. But I will say, the Woodsmen are still keeping on. Things are looking up for this team. Apparently, Tyrese Halliburton got hurt as well. When? I never got any notification about that. But Zubac is hurt, so we have to put in somebody else. So I think you give more minutes to Bol for sure. And I think you bring in Brandon Clark perhaps for a few minutes. So I'll make that change right now. So our new rotation looks like this. We give Bol all of Zubac's minutes as center. We split some time between center and power forward, and we give the power forward minutes for 15 minutes to Brandon Clark. So that is the change that we make right there. And now it looks like this. And it looks like Halliburton has a bruised left heel for 2 to 4 weeks, but it's not really affecting much. Is it affecting any of his ratings? Looks like some stuff is going down by 1 or 2, but it looks like the injury is not really having much of an effect, so he's going to be all right. But look at this last month, man. Only 3 L's, and we have climbed all the way to 4th in the conference, 28-18. Only 2.5 games back now from San Antonio. We're looking great, man. This is awesome. Our first sim game came against Toronto, where we beat them by 1 on our home court. 27 for Keldon Johnson, trying to bounce back from a rough couple of weeks. Anderson and Bol dropped 19 points. See, that's the kind of production I want from the bench. Somebody dropping like 15 points off the bench. That's good. Carney shot poorly. Halliburton had 10 points, 13 assists. Only took 9 shots this game. And Payne had a double-double as well with 2 steals and 3 blocks. Anderson had 4 steals as well. The Raptors got 36 and 6 from Scotty Barnes and 19, 9 and 7 from Edwin Morris. But we come out on top. Then we took down Brent Davis and the Magic. He drops 24. Desmond Bane drops 20. The Woodsmen got 47 from Anderson. 14 for 19 from the field. 10 for 14 from 3. Good golly almighty. Good for him. Tyrese Halliburton, 23 and 13. Keldon Johnson, 18. Carney, 17 and 6. And Payne, a nice double-double. Great win. We then took down the Sound, who are currently vying for, I think, one of the top overall picks in the draft at 14 and 31. The Magic were also even worse than that. But Barker drops 26. Both teams scored below 15 points in the second quarter. But the Woodsmen came out on top with 23 off the bench from Joel Carney. Yes, sir. Love seeing that. Anderson had 21 points. Payne a double-double. Although he shot poorly, Halliburton shot poorly, 5 for 20 with 12 assists. And then Bol 11 points off the bench. So, I mean, we won because the Sound suck. But then the Grizzlies took us down, and look who led the way. It's Byron Wellington, of course. 24 points in this one. 5 assists, 9 for 17 from the field. DeJounte Murray, 21 and 11. Will Hollins had 13, 5 and 7. He played pretty well. And it looks like Miles Turner, 9 and 6. So a lot of, former teammates here, obviously. How was Wellington done this year? Still at a 77 overall in his 4th season. 15.4 points per game. 4.4 assists, shooting 45% from the field, and 44 from downtown, getting just below 30 minutes a game. So he's just playing well. He's having a good season. That's nice to see. What about Will Hollins? Averaging 9.7 and 7.4 off the bench, shooting pretty poorly at 42% for 3, not terrible. And he's getting about 22 minutes a game. So, they are 2 very solid contributors for Memphis. In this game, though, the Woodsmen got 28 for Anderson, 24 for Keldon Johnson. Halliburton, once again, just not really involved too much, but I think this was the game where he got hurt. Only had 8 points, 8 assists, took 8 shots. So, Interesting stuff going on here with Tyrese Halliburton. Not sure what's going on with him, but go to our next box score, which was against the Mavericks, who are a couple games above 500. And then he drops 23, but he took 24 shots. 8 assists in this one. Keldon Johnson at 19. Double-double for Payne. Anderson, 14 points. Only took 10 shots. It's not very good, especially when 4 other players take more shots than he does, one of whom comes off the bench. But Bol 10 and 7. Vanderbilt, 13 boards. The Mavericks got 22, 5 and 7 for Dyson Daniels and 19 from Reed Wall. Then we take down the Sixers by 13 points. Agbaji leads the way for them with 18. But the Woodsmen got 31 for Anderson, though, on 29 shots. Halliburton had one of his best days recently with 22 points, 7 assists on good shooting. Payne, a really solid double-double. Keldon Johnson, 13, 8 and 6. So we got double figures from Carney and Dosunmu off the bench. We then beat the Bulls by 2. Keldon Johnson drops 27. Halliburton 23 and 12. Both guys played pretty well. Double-double there for Payne. 14 for Anderson. 14 for Bol. Carney was 2 for 11. And the Bulls got 19 from Franz. 17 for Sylvester Hammonds. So only 10 for Anthony Edwards. So he has really not played very well against us this year in the 2 games that we've faced each other. The Clippers snapped this winning streak by putting up 47 in the 4th quarter. Not really much to say about that. Just high-scoring game. They outscored us. 31 for Ellis Wright, 23 for Pacciani, 17 for Drew Ewing. How's he doing? He's up to an 82 overall. He has those 15 badges. How's he been playing this season? I went the exact opposite way to find his stats. 12.3 and 5.3, shooting 43%. 39 from deep in 29 minutes. He's having a pretty good rookie season, for sure. The Woodsmen got 29 from Halliburton in the loss. Anderson drops 20. Dosunmu 17 points off the bench. Then the Pelicans beat us by 14 points at home. 22 for Halliburton, 17 for Anderson, who really has not played all too well since that 47-point game. 15 for Keldon Johnson, 13 for Zubac off the bench. Payne also not really having... He's been more inconsistent recently since we have Sim today. But the Pelicans got 30 and 9 from Zion and 19 from Tyrone Murphy. But then we kickstart a new win streak with Anderson dropping 30 points in the win against Phoenix. Halliburton had 18 points. Payne, double-double. Carney, 14. Keldon Johnson, 13. Zubac, 10. The Suns got 23 for Booker, but they're missing a couple of players. Well, first, they still have Aiden, but he didn't really play that well. 13, 4, and 5. But what about Thomas Copeland? Where's he? Looks like he's back in the lineup. He must have just been hurt for this game. We faced them and beat them for the 2nd time in a row, and we had monster games from our 2 best players. 41 and 7 from Tyrese Halliburton, 12 for 22 from the field, shot fantastic from 3. Anderson 37, 9 and 5, 12 for 21. Like, this is by far the best game that these 2 have played on the same court together. My God, they scored over half of our points. Unreal. The Suns got 29 for Booker, 21 from Aiden, and 20 from Dalen Terry, but it just was not enough. I mean, our star players kicked the ass of theirs. Our 3rd straight win comes against a really good Nuggets team, and we beat them by 18 points. 27 here for Halliburton, definitely picking things up the last couple of games. Carney, another great day off the bench, 24 points for him. Anderson at 23 and 6. Keldon Johnson, Zubac, and Bol all scoring double figures too. The Nuggets got 31 from Jalen Duren. Monster day. 16 and 10 for LaMelo, and Jokic only 7, 5, and 9. Is he coming off the bench or something? Like, what is happening? I guess he must have just like gotten hurt this game because Duren played more than he did. Weird. The wins keep on coming, this time against Portland. Jordan Poole drops 25 in the loss, but the Woodsmen got 28 for Anderson, 26 and 13 for Keldon Johnson, and 22, 4 and 10 from Halliburton. Definitely one of the better games that all 3 of these guys have played together as well. Carney had 10 off the bench. Herter had 8 in 8 minutes, so good job there. And now we are coming off our 5th straight win behind 21 and 7 for Anderson, 16 and 7 for Halliburton, and a double-double from Don Payne. The Lakers had 20 from Leroy Kent and 15 from Johnny Davis. A low-scoring game, but we come out on top, and now we are up to 7th in the power rankings. We are, what are we now, 28 and 18 on the season. Things are looking really bright over here in Vancouver, folks. We are making a huge push. So here we go, hosting the 22 and 22 Pacers here in Vancouver, trying to get our 6th straight win in a row and keep up the extremely solid basketball that we have played this season. Halliburton, his first shot attempt is missed at the rim. It's a good defense down there by Indiana, but we're going to see if we can take them down and go to 29 and 18 on the season. We're looking pretty good, so let's see if we can do that. Pass down low to Gafford is the first bucket, though, for the Pacers as they get it started here in this one. Don Payne sizing up Gafford. He'll fire, and he scores. Screen from Gafford. Wiggins takes it down low. Nearly blocked by Payne, but the shot goes in. Odin Johnson, wide open three. Online. John Moran off the screen, gets down low in for a monster slam. Had a bit of a miscommunication there off the screen. Halliburton fading away, can't knock the mid-ranger down. Not the best look. On the other end, Kobe White has his pass deflected and stolen. Halliburton back to Anderson, wide open shot, but that's offline too. John Morant will take it coast to coast, and he's fouled. First on to Anderson. 26.6 points per game this year for Ja. 50% shooting so far this season, having a really good year. The Pacers team really is not. It's trying to figure things out like we had to this episode and last episode. Halliburton takes the screen, fires over Gafford, got it this time. Kobe White off the screen, fires a triple. It's offline. Payne pulls it down. Up ahead to Anderson. He wants to attack the baseline in the paint. He fades away. The shot is off, though. Ja in there again for a slam. So another issue right there with the screens. The lob up to Payne is tipped by Gafford, though, and Halliburton turns the ball over. Wasn't the best pass attempt. Andrew Wiggins throws it right to Jared Venable, trying to find Bridges there on the cut. On the other end, Anderson steps back and fires, and that one goes. 1 point game. Morant finds Wiggins in the corner for three. It's online. Nice pass. Anderson trying to find Halliburton cutting, but John Morant was right there. He just didn't see him. The lob is tipped by Payne, and we have it right back. Anderson feeds Payne down low. Mismatch against Kobe White. He backs him down and scores. Good work. Kobe White left wide open by Anderson. What are we doing? What was that? On the other end, Anderson cuts. Gets the pass from Vanderbilt and scores at the rim. Nice job there. Morant blows by Halliburton in for two more. He is owning us down low. We gotta maybe sit Payne or Venable down there to help on defense, perhaps. Right now, we are getting torn apart. Halliburton, what is that shot, man? Anderson gets the offensive board. Okay. Vanderbilt goes back to Payne, but it's tipped by Gafford and stolen. Into the hands of Kobe White. Or Miles Bridges, rather. He goes to Gafford. Payne gets the stop. Gafford gets the board, though. White for three. No, and Payne finally pulls it down. Screen coming. Halliburton takes on Gafford and draws his first foul. First free throw up and good as Halliburton is now up to 20 points per game and just below 10 assists per game. And his free throws are good. Morant, deep three, back iron. Anderson for three. No good. Payne gets the board. Throws up a shot and hits it, man. He has been impressive. Off the screen. White out of a shot. Trying to go back to Dawson, but Payne just deflected the pass. Halliburton down low. Puts us in front. The assist goes to Anderson. Now under 5 to go here in the first quarter. We'll watch one more play for defense and offense. Meyer, the jumper, offline. Payne skies for it. Screen from Johnson. Halliburton hesitates. Finds Anderson. He won't fire yet. He'll find Payne down low, and he just missed a dunk jam. Dawson was draped all over him. And that will take us to the second quarter now as we are going to sim ahead. All right, we jump in with just below 7 to go until halftime. The Pacers have the ball up by 4. They feed Ja Morant down low. He wants to draw out Tyrese Halliburton. Screen from Dawson is placed. And Morant is in there for 2. Just got Payne to hesitate for a second. He's got 15 points now. Good God. Screen from Vandy. Halliburton fires. Missed the shot, though, and Meyer pulls it down. I'd adjust our defense here in a moment if we keep getting scored on by Ja Morant. Screen from Gafford. Morant. Over Payne, blocked. There you go. Good stuff. Barney. Open shots. Online. The assist goes to Halliburton. Pete Westbrook for 3. Offline. Carney pulls it down. Chance for us to close the gap here, perhaps. We have Anderson about to check back in. This game is also our 3rd in 4 days, so some guys are going to be tired out there. That's all right. It's Halliburton's foul. That will allow number 5 to come on in for us and Dawson to check in for the Pacers. Halliburton with it against 2 defenders. Gets by both of them, then he's fouled at the rim by Dawson. His 4th already in the first half. There's 5 minutes to go, man. What is he doing out there? First free throw. Good. Only 30% shooting so far on the day for him, but see if that improves. The free throws are good, though. Bobo and Keldon Johnson have now checked in for us, so our first time seeing Bobo in a Vancouver uniform. Westbrook, top of the key, just rattled out. Lucky for us. Now we had a 3, we could take the lead. Johnson finds Anderson in the corner. Bobo the screen. Anderson steps back. Goes back to Bobo in the corner. Wide open. Offline, though. Good try. Been a very low-scoring game so far as Meyer knocks it down. Only 38-33 and just over 4 to play until halftime. So we got to pick things up here. Keldon Johnson cuts. Gets the feed from Bobo. Open jumper. Got it. Screen from Dawson. Meyer fires off it, but it's not going in. Halliburton steps back and hits the shot. 1-point game. Dawson wants to attack the rim. Nice pump fake. And then he's still... Oh, I thought that was a block, but they called a foul instead. I don't like it. But whatever. Oh, yeah, this... Oh, I forgot about this guy. He's the one who has the really whack-ass free throw animation. Interesting. Bridges checks back in, and Dawson hits both. Bobo moves to center. Clark comes in. Let's see if he can have some kind of an impact here as he sets the screen. Anderson fires and knocks it down. Bridges cuts, gets the feed, and Clark is too late on defense thanks to an off-ball screen. Bobo the screen to smooth the shot. That one's offline. Bridges backing down Clark. Taking him down low. Can't get by him. He goes to Dawson. He has to fire. And he hits the shot. Come on. That was great defense. Anderson to Keldon Johnson. He gets down low and is fouled. The 5th on Dawson. This guy's going to foul out by halftime. First free throw. Good. Second free throw. Also good. Hans Meyer, mid-range jumper, back iron, Bobo pulls it down. Down by 3, Vancouver has a shot to tie it up right here with a three-pointer. Or just play some smart basketball. It's a good defense, maybe just a couple of twos for the lead at halftime. Keldon Johnson once again hits it from the mid-range. That was a long one this time. Back to 1. Meyer feeds Bridges. Backing down Clark. He steps back. Now trying again. He goes up. And he missed it. And we get the board thanks to Keldon Johnson. Nice defense by Clark that time. Clark back to Keldon. Wide open 3. Can't knock it down though. Would have loved to have that go in. 7 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. So a chance for a stop and a bucket to be up by halftime. They're going to try it again. Bridges attacks. Blocked by Clark. That's what I'm talking about. All right, last shot here in the first half though. Isumu up to Keldon Johnson. Time counting down. He just jacks it up. What was that? It's 43-44 at halftime. Neither offense looking good, but our defense has been pretty solid, at least here in the second quarter. We jump ahead with 6:41 to go here in the third quarter. Gonna watch the rest of this quarter as Pacers are still up by 1. 53-52 now. They also have the ball. Morant goes back to Westbrook. Open 3. Not his day so far. Off the screen, Halliburton fires a tough one off 1 foot. Payne gets the board and puts it back in. And also putting us in front by 1. Morant takes the screen, goes back to Westbrook. Halliburton, not Halliburton, but Vanderbilt covered both guys extremely well right there. That was a great stop. Anderson covered closely. He takes the screen. Fires at the charity stripe, but it's off. Kobe White throws it right to Don Payne. He saw Morant for a second, tried to get it to him. But Payne, man, he has been an absolute machine on both ends. Offensive boards, steals, blocks, all the above. We're going to feed him down low. Mismatch against Ja. Can he make this work? Not quite, but he gets his own board. Finds Anderson. He reset the offense. Anderson can't knock it down. That's not a good shot. Just square up, my guy. Morant wants to attack Keldon Johnson. He spins, fires over him, and scores. Anderson cuts, and we score immediately on the other end. Screen. Morant won't fire a 3, but Wiggins will. And it's off. Payne pulls it down. Look at this. Like all 5 guys for both teams are tired right now. Anderson, mid-ranger, online. Increasing our lead now up to 3. He's got 18 points. Ja's got 20. This timeout will allow Dosunmu, Bobo, and Carney to check in for us here to end off the quarter. After the Pacers timeout, what do they draw up here? Dawson goes to Meyer for 3. Deep shot, just missed it. Clark, the screen. Dosunmu, the 3. Fading away. That one's just off too. Kobe White hesitates, takes the screen. That shot's off. Neither team can hit anything right now. We might get to the fourth quarter with both teams below 70. Bobo to Anderson. Now to Sumu. Shot clock winding down. He finds Anderson wide open for 3, but he skies it. Meyer almost lost it. He finds Moncrief in the corner for the triple, and that one is just off too. They keep rolling around the rim and just rattling out. Double screens for Dosunmu. He hesitates, then attacks. He pulls up for no reason. Clark tips it back in. What a putback. Kobe White to Dawson. Deep shot. Indiana has a lid on the rim. And Hans Meyer's called for a loose ball foul. They've scored only 11 points here in the quarter. We've scored only 17. So neither team has really picked it up here in the third quarter, but defensive game, I guess, and ours is looking pretty good right now. Herder checks in with Carney. Moving to shooting guard. Carney with it against Meyer. Finds the Sumu, and we have to jack a shot up. And it's good! There we go. Well, that sparks something. The starters love it. Meyer takes it down low against Carney. Fires. Good defense, but he gets his own board back. Dawson off the bank and in to end the drought for the Pacers. Carney. The layup. Good. Nice play. On Creef. Feeds Bridges down low against Herter. Backing him down. Mismatch. And he scores. Sumu steps back. Pulls the trigger, but it's off. And Indiana has the last shot here in this third quarter. Currently down by 6. Who do they go to? Moncrief goes to Pete Westbrook. And he missed it. Go to the fourth, up 65-59. Bit of a stinker here, but at least we're ahead. Just below 8.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. Vancouver has the ball up by 4. 66-70 as we almost turn it over there on the inbound pass. Then we find Payne wide open at the rim for 2. Good work. I'm pretty sure it's low scoring because every player is tired. Might have to lower the effects of stamina or something as Ja Morant coasts in there for an easy dunk. He's got 24. Halliburton in there for 2 wide open. Pretty much the same thing. He's got 19 points now. Vancouver back up by 6. Morant wants the screen. He takes it. Hesitates. We cover it well, and Anderson picks his pocket for the steal. And he will find Payne off a deflected pass. And he got the bucket. Payne is awesome, man. He is just so good. And I'm pretty sure this is the final year of his growth, so we'll see what his final state, his final peak overall number is next year. But, I mean, up to an 80 overall doing things like this, like, he's awesome, man. The pick and roll. Steps back, finds Wiggins for 3. That one's off. Rimmed out again. Keldon Johnson, the step back jumper. No. And Johnson is only 3 for 13 today. All 9 points of his came in the first quarter, or in the first half, rather. Gafford has it. He goes back out to Kobe White. Shot clock counting down. White has to fire a 3, and it's online. That's a big one. Keldon Johnson off the feet from Halliburton. Takes it down low. Then goes up and draws the foul. The second on Wiggins. That will put us in the bonus for the rest of the fourth quarter, the last 6 minutes. First free throw. Good. Second free throw. Up. And good. Gafford comes over. Kobe White attacks. Steps back. And they have to reset again. The defense, playing pretty well. Covering guys really strongly. Wiggins missed the shot. Like, that was a great defensive stop right there. That was really good by all 5 players. Halliburton goes back to Payne. He's going to have to fire this over Gafford. And he scores. Let's go. 10-point game. Morant hesitates. He broke Payne's ankles. Oh, my. You don't got to talk about that. Halliburton at the rim over Bridges. Got it to go. Over the head feed to Gafford. Got through after a deflection. Anderson, the triple. Got it to go. Yes. Keep it coming on. 4 minutes left. Let's close this one out, fellas. Morant spitting, going back to Bridges, open 3. That's not going in. Payne tips it to Vanderbilt for the board. Halliburton finds Anderson on the other end. The mid-ranger, that's offline. Shot clock winding down. Ja has to fire a 3, which goes. Back to an 8-point game. He's trying to keep his team in this one. They are not trying to go back to below 500, folks. Halliburton gets down low against Gafford and draws the foul. That was a hard one. Took a huge body shot. The fourth on Gafford. Free throw number 1, up and in. Free throw number 2, not many for either team, is good as well. They've had none here in the second half. Splits defenders, finds Bridges again for 3, and this time he'll knock it down. That'll cut the game to 7. Under 3 to go. Anderson gets the feed, but then passes back. Go to Keldon Johnson instead. Wide open, long 2, missed it. Payne could have grabbed the board, but Gafford tipped it out of his hands. Andrew Wiggins back to Miles Bridges in the corner. Vanderbilt too late. It's good again. Halliburton spotting up top of the key. Cash. Nothing but net. Big shot right there. Morant gets inside and draws the foul against Keldon Johnson. So this is their first free throws of the half. First one good. Second one is good as well. Jaws got 31. Under 2 to go here. Every bucket counts. Vanderbilt has it. He finds Halliburton. He's double teamed and he turns the ball over. Wiggins put a hand up in there. He finds Ja. He goes back to Wiggins in the corner for 3. The game is cut to 2. We do this so much. Payne sets the screen. Anderson goes back to him. Nice pass over the top of Gafford. Huge play. Every play counts right now. Ja Morant finds Kobe White wide open, man. How are they getting such great looks? Halliburton to Keldon Johnson. Wide open 3. That's not going in. And if the Pacers score here, they take the lead with less than a minute to go. Bridges to Gafford at the rim. We're losing. Come on. Anderson back to Vanderbilt. Bucket plus the foul. Absolutely huge play. Vanderbilt makes like the only shot that he's taken all game. And he got fouled on it too. Another assist for Anderson. This free throw is huge. It's up. And it's good. 2-point game. No threes whatsoever. Just play some sound defense. Morant with it. Guarded by Halliburton. Couple of screens. Bridges sets it. Morant back to him, top of the key. He knocks it down. Just miss once. How are they getting so open? I actually have to this is incredible. The last 4 shots they have had have been wide open threes. Unreal. So what happens here? The Bridges sets the screen. He leaks out. Halliburton chases Morant because Payne is waiting for him to come back over and gets in position. And then he passes back to Bridges. So really, I think it's kind of on Vanderbilt here because he's trying to guard Ja and Payne is there with him. So this is kind of on Halliburton and Vanderbilt as well. Either one of them should be going back to Bridges. So how do we fix this? I think we just go to the switch for the last possession unless it does not come down to that. So I guess I'll make that change real quick. Yeah, so we're just going to switch on all of the on-ball screens. If there's off-ball, why not switch those two? There's only a couple of seconds left. So let's make that change as well. It's down here, actually. Maybe I should have made that change earlier, but I guess not. Halliburton double-teamed. Vanderbilt lobs it for Anderson. He missed the dunk. Payne gets it. It scores. Holy crap, what a sequence. Oh, my God. The Pacers call a timeout down by 1. Holy hell. Well, 18.6 seconds left. Pacers have the final shot, most likely down by 1. What's going to happen? Morant's holding it. I'm really nervous. Couple of screens come. White leaks over. We cover it well. Time's counting down. Morant for three. A deep one. He missed it. Vancouver wins. 98-97. What a finish. My heart's racing. Looks like switching. That kind of worked right there because otherwise Kobe White is going to get that ball with an open three. Wow. Big win, and our win streak goes to 6. Don Payne, player of the game, and why not? That was a high-scoring fourth quarter, 38-33. Thank God we did not allow a single more point. But Halliburton drops 26, 6, and 8 against his former team. He played pretty well. Don Payne, how about him though? 23 points, 17 boards, 4 steals, 2 blocks. Just great stat line. Anderson, 21 points. He and Halliburton shot 9 for 19 apiece. Keldon Johnson stunk. 1 for 10 from 3, 3 for 15 total. Terrible day. Dosunmu was not very good off the bench. Carney had a couple of missed shots, but we didn't really see many of those. Bol did not really do much besides get a couple of rebounds. And the Pacers got 31 and 8 from Ja Morant and 16 from Miles Bridges, most of which came in the fourth quarter. But we come out on top by the skin of our own teeth. I mean, they shot way better from 3 than we did. We took more free throws, but they shot better overall. So you definitely like to win the game like that. We had 14 offensive rebounds. That went a huge way thanks to Don Payne. That leaves us only 2 games back from San Antonio now, and I want to go through a couple of advanced stats with you guys and just some stats in general. And first, I will say that when I looked at the advanced stats before I traded Lauri Markkanen, I forgot to show you guys, but I did look at those before I recorded, and he had like a negative 1.6 EWA, which is wins added. So he was at the bottom with negative 1.6. Graves has negative 0.6, so he's obviously not playing. Clark and Herter have negative 0.2. Vanderbilt has 0. Keldon Johnson 0.9. Dosunmu 1.0. Zubats 1.4. Okiki 0. Carney 2.1. Anderson and Halliburton both have 9.2. They both have similar usage rate. They both have similar possessions. Turnover ratios are also fairly similar. In terms of game score, our leaders are Halliburton with 18.3, Anderson with 17.7, and Payne with 12.8. So those are our 3 best players in terms of that, and our only 3 players that are above average in terms of game score, because 10 is average, 20 is outstanding. So Halliburton and Anderson are pretty damn good this year. Efficiency, 23.4 for Halliburton and 22 for Anderson, and for PER, 22.6 for Halliburton, 21.9 for Anderson. If you compare the rest of the team, Bol's up there, Payne's up there, Carney, Okiki, Zubats, Dosunmu, Keldon Johnson. For per game stats, our best player, number 5, up to 24.0 points per game, 4 boards, 3 assists, shooting 47% from the field and 42% from downtown. Halliburton, 24 and 10, 42%, and 38 from beyond the arc. Keldon Johnson has got 15.4 points per game, 5 boards, 44% from the field, so shooting better than Halliburton is, and he's shooting 36% from 3. Don Payne is shooting about 50%. He's got 2 blocks per game, 1.3 steals, 12.7 boards, 13.7 points. Those numbers have gone down a bit since that 14-14 stat line, but he's still, a really, really good player. Carney has played every game, 10.3 points per game, 1.5 boards and assists, shooting about 42%, which is up from last season, which was at 38%. So there is an improvement there, which is what I wanted. And he's also shooting fairly decent from 3 as well at 37%. And Bol has not played a lot for us, so these won't be entirely accurate for how he's been on our team. But this year he is averaging 8.2 and 4, 0.8 blocks per game, 46% from the field, and 41% from 3. Isumu 41% from 3 and 45% from the field as well, with 7.1 points per game and 2.8 assists. So those are your stats. Zubats also has played quite a bit. But those are your stats so far. Herder shooting 43%. Vanderbilt 7.8 boards, 3.2 points. But that's your update. We are now on a 6-game win streak after team chemistry is at the maximum possible point. We are only 2 weeks away from the All-Star draft and 4 weeks away from the All-Star break. In terms of award races, here are your top 5. Calvin Gordon, Luka Doncic, LaMelo Ball, Ja Morant, and Darius Garland. Rookie of the Year, Terrell Simpson, Leroy Kent, Jonathan George, Gordon Dunn, and Drew Ewing. Sixth Man of the Year, Dalen Terry, Ray Harris, Jonathan George, Will Hollins, and Pete Sharp. And finally, Defensive Player of the Year, Evan Mobley, Calvin Gordon, Jaren Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Where is Don Payne? Where? Giannis is 5 with only 1.2 blocks. How is he there and Payne's not? These guys all average more blocks than Payne does. How many steals does he have? Because, like, how is he not even in the conversation? I feel like he has to be. 1.3 steals, 2 blocks per game. Like, how is Giannis possibly above Payne? I really don't understand. 1.2 and 1.2. Payne's got 1.3 and 2.0. He should be above Mobley. What's going on? I don't know what to say to that. I really don't. But for most improved player, Alex Barker's up there, Julio Haywood, Gerard Wheeler, Andre Temple, and Dedrick Sloan. But Alex Barker is having a great year, but he also played for 48 minutes for the first 20 or so games of the season. So I wonder how he's done maybe in recent games. 36, 30, 21, 26, 34, 26. I mean, yeah, okay, he's actually dropping some bombs. He is actually just a pure shooter. This guy's really good. That'll end the episode for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and what do you guys think? I think the trade we made was one that makes a whole lot of sense. I'm not really worried about losing Blackman. He wasn't very good when he played, except for a couple of blocks on defense, but had some fouls and stuff, so he's gone. Markkanen's gone, thank Christ. We've got Bobo instead with a lot of height, rebounding, defense, and shooting. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll pick this up next time out, as we will probably get through the All-Star break next time out. Probably going to watch this game on the road against Toronto, and then send to the All-Star break after that. So that's my game plan there. But until then, see you guys later. Peace.